Page 37, O Sole Mio. A very famous piece. And it's in a lot of method books. It's a nice little arrangement. 3 lines long, no sharps or flats. We're in the key of C major. Make sure you do the C major scale. Common timer 4/4 time. And we have a pickup measure. The first measure only has 3 counts in it. So, well, beat 1 is at the bottom. You see only 1 count. So we're coming in on beat 2. So let's check it one hand at a time, make sure we have the notes and the rhythms and all. Right hand, you're starting here, C here, put your hand in this position to start. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. During the rest, you come down. And you're in this position. Second line, second measure. During the rest, come down. And then going on during the rest, you come up, second finger. Here. And then last line, you come down for the second measure. There. Now, I'd like to explain a little bit, maybe it's not necessarily a more advanced fingering, but a more advanced way of approaching the moves, the hand moves. You're here. And then I said, come down here during the rest. Well, rather than moving the whole hand down, I like to feel my way around. So during the rest, I'm staying there. And all I'm going to do is scrunch up a little bit and put the 4th finger here. And then when I play it, then I move down. So the hand, you kind of move the hand around a little bit at a time. So I'm suggesting you start thinking about that because it'll come in handy later on. Just stay here and just scrunch down here. The second line, the half notes, well, I know I need to be down here. I can prepare for that. So on the 2 half notes, the repeated notes, it's a standard style in fingering. Not everybody does it, but I do it and I recommend it. Is when you have repeated notes, if you need to, you can change hand positions on the repeated notes to prepare for what's coming. So I know I need to be here. So I can prepare for this position on the repeated note. I can just simply come here in third and move on the repeated notes. Now I'm in position. Now there's nothing wrong with moving during the rest. I'm just trying to get you to think a little more advanced fingering here rather than just a beginner's fingering where you're always in a 5-finger position or close to it and you're just moving the whole hand. Sometimes we crawl around and that's what I'm kind of getting you into here. So you're doing that. And then going on the G's, this is the 4th measure. Instead of 2, because you can come up and play it with 2, but I can also just stay there and play the first note with 4, the repeated notes. I can change on the repeated note. Here. Here. Now on the last line, you're here and you need to go to here. Not a lot I can do there. So here we're going to just pretty much have to lift up. But on all these other moves, we were able to crawl around a little bit. Left hand's got the broken chords, more or less an extended position. Remember, it's got a C chord at the beginning, this chord. But we have another C on top. That's where we extend out. It's called an extended position. So it's really a 4-note chord. And that's the fingering 4. The fingering they use, good. So it's just an extended position. And then the next one. And then keep going. On the last 2 measures, the second line, you're here. That's a 3 now. That's the chord, and that's, again, it's an extended position. I haven't had that chord yet, but it is a chord. And then back to you. And then the last line, 3rd measure, now you come down. And now you're back to the regular position. Put the hands together. You're here to start. I don't really want to play it for you. I'd like you to be able to read the music and discover this for yourself. That's the exciting part. Don't wait for somebody to play it for you and just copy them. I get requests from people, would you just play it for me so I could hear it? And the answer is no. You read the music and you discover what it sounds like on your own. So that's what I'm after. I want you to be able to take a new piece of music and discover on your own without having to wait to hear somebody else first. After you've played it, after you've learned it, then if you want to hear other people play it to compare what you've done with them, fine, I do that a lot. But not to first learn a piece. No, I want to study the music and learn it for myself first. It also gives you a chance to test yourself. How accurate are you in reading music? How did you get it right, or did you miss a bunch of stuff? So try it for yourself first. Now, once you have the notes and the rhythms, then you think about the articulation. And here, you're pretty much slurring everything, lifting up for the rest. It's not marked in the right hand. Just slur it. Pretend there's slur lines over everything except the rest. You just slur line over everything except the rest. Dynamics apply to the melody, which is the right hand. So MF is mezzo forte, is moderately loud, whatever you think that is. This is moderately soft. It's softer. And then the second line, in the middle, you get those hairpins to go up. You're going to come up to moderately to loud. That's moderate. You go up to here, and then you start loud, and all the way down to, so it's loud, moderately soft, soft. So each one is, and then in the last line, or last measure, you ba-da-da-da. And then you're soft now, and now you're going to go up to moderately soft or moderately loud. Ba-da-da-da, and then go down. Yeah. That's sort of, you got to get to where you can feel these dynamics. I mean, you're kind of forcing them at first, but eventually you want to feel these. And then the speed is allegro moderato, is moderately fast. There's words to this. They're not in this book, but there are words to it. Let's play it together slowly and double check the notes and the rhythms. Not going to do any dynamics. I'll give us 5 counts because there's 4 counts in a measure plus 1. We come in on beat 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, go.